Hi there, Dolly friends. I am so happy that you're here today. My plans for this week went completely awry when I was tooling around on YouTube watching my favorite channels, and a little thumbnail popped up for this channel called Where the Gnomes Live. There was a cute little video about a little pantry kitchen, and she made cheeses and breads out of little rocks. I will link the channel here, but once I was done watching her darling video, the next video that popped up from her channel was making pine needle baskets. This is something I've been wanting to do, so I spent a lot of time for the rest of the week trying to figure this out. The learning curve was a little steep for me. It was a little steep for me because I'm impatient, and this is definitely a craft for those who are patient. So it's a good exercise for learning some patience. So these are the first, this is the very first one that I made, and I did it all wrong. So I'll just leave that there. And then this was the second one I made, which was still completely wrong, but it looked a little better than the first one. And then I tried making some others. And I decided I wanted to make a little laundry basket, but I couldn't really figure out how to do the handles. And I tried, these were all my own tries. To continue to try this, and I will show you a little bit of what I was doing today, but please go to her channel and I'll link a few other videos that I watched which were very, very helpful. But I want to show you the larger one I'm making. It's easier to do the larger one than to do the small ones, and it's really just my practicing. But I really like the way it's turning out. It's not coming out, it's not nearly as large as it's coming out to be there. So you can see it's much smaller even than my hand. It's probably about, I don't know, 11 centimeters wide. Anyway, it smells amazing, and the technique is not difficult in concept, but it is a little bit difficult in execution. It's really fun, and I'm going to show you a little bit of what I did, but for instructional videos, I'll link them in the description box. But I'm also going to work a little bit on my Triang doll's house. I want to kind of clean up the outside, and I do want to paint it so it looks like the original. It needs a bench for the porch, etc. So we will get to that. Here are the needles washed and soaked. You have to keep them nice and moist so they stay pliable. You can see what I'm doing here. And then I'll just fold it over and stitch it together, and then I'll start going around without wrapping. The wrapping just creates a nice sturdy center. And here I'm just starting to shape the base. I'm going around on my second wrap after the coiled base was done. I'm not going to really get into the detail, but I just want you to see how I'm forming the stitches here. I'm splitting the stitch, going through the middle of the stitch on the outside to the stitch on the inside. It takes a good amount of concentration and patience. It's definitely not something that can be done quickly. I'm just finishing up my round, and then I'll do a little top stitch. Well, here's the little basket all completed. I did a little crisscross stitch on the top to finish it off. Oops. There's the bottom, so you can see there. I did make some mistakes in here. Yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if you like little baskets in your dollhouse scenes, or if you've tried to make something like that, or if you would like to, or you think you will try to make something like that. I will put links to the videos that I watched in the description box to this video. Yeah. Even though I was distracted with my basket making, I wanted to really work on my Triang dollhouse, which is Ferry Screet. So I'm just using a dry cloth to dust it off. I have not done anything with this house since I got it. I'm using a little bit of soap and water to wash, rinse, and dry, just to prepare the outside. What I really want to do is paint a garden on the front, which the original Triang houses would have had. So that's my plan. I decided that I want to take the windows out because I wanted them out of the way for my cleaning. And when I paint, I don't want them in the way. I wanted to kind of clean the windows also, see if I can brighten them up a little bit. There's quite a bit of rust on them, but it's coming pretty clean. And I'll need to decide what I want to do with the paper. The aluminum was in pretty good condition, allowing me to unbend the prongs. So I really was in pretty good shape. So I just have this one left to do over the garage and over the porch. So here's one of the windows, and all I did was take this soft brush and just clean. There is absolutely nothing on this brush. I use this brush for everything. I love it. I really put barely any water on this Q-tip. I just kind of wet my fingers and then put it on the end of the Q-tip. I didn't want to take any paint off, just to get some of the dust off. I didn't really want to do anything to the frames. You know, I could paint them, but I really don't want to change this house much from the original. Just getting some of the rust dust out of there. But the aluminum is really, or the tin rather, is in really pretty great condition, I think, for the age of this house. I'm still thinking about what I want to do. Obviously, they need to be re-glued. The paper is very, very faded. Some of the original glue is on the main house and will need to come off. You can see the original color there, but I've elected to just leave it as it is and not try to strip off old paint. I decided what I would do was use a little matte Mod Podge and see if I could bring out some of the darker color. I'm just trying a little test here to see how it works, and it does darken up. I don't know if it's gonna fade afterwards or not, but I decided to go ahead and apply it. At the very least, it will preserve the paper that's there, which I do need to glue back into place anyway. You can see it gets a little bit darker, and I'm just gonna go for it. You know, the window's gonna cover the area where it's nearly black. But if I can make it just a little bit better, it'll be good. I hate to replace the whole thing. It's not torn really, it's just so faded. It's not regular cardboard, and it's not regular construction paper. There is tons of glue on the back of it, and I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with that. I might try my Formula 911, but I'm gonna do this around all the frames and see what happens. I'm using the tiniest amount of my Formula 911 and just using a Q-tip to wipe it off, and it came very clean. Worked like a charm. I apologize for the glare. That's just the way my windows are, my real house windows. So it's just hard to get a good photo here. But yeah, so I put the top windows back in just so you can see what they look like. And yeah, I'm gonna get ready to paint down here. Here's my palette. I'll put a picture up in the corner so you can see, you know, a house that had its original paint. So I'm just kind of combining the greens. And I'm just using my little board. Get some of the paint off and also to, right, and they went up about, I've seen different ones that went really high, but mainly they went up to about the window area. So I'm going to, there we go, look at me, I'm already doing it. Oh dear, I forgot to film my adding the yellow, but you can see what I'm doing. And now I'm adding the red. And that is really all there is to it. I think it really adds something to have the little painted garden. Well, here's Theo and Sylvie checking it out. There's still a lot of work to be done. I need to work on the porch. It needs a bench. I still need a door. So there's still a few things to do on the outside before we start on the inside, but we're off to a good start. I am, as the British say, very chuffed with my garden. I think it is very reminiscent of the way the Triang gardens were done on the houses. That is very impressionistic, we'll say. So I am very happy with it. I'm happy with the way the windows were darkened just a little bit. And it's looking good with not really much change being done to it. So I'm very happy. If you want to follow the progress on Ferry's Greet, please subscribe to my channel and come back and visit me next time in the doll cupboard. And be sure you come back and visit me next time in. If you want to see more, if you want to see, la 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 la.